I'm curious to know how or if Geoff would approach projects in an area like the Sahel with its military and refugee issues. Well, our consultants have been out in the Sahel in different places, and we've definitely worked in refugee camps, still do. It is the perfect area as far as need, and in many ways the raw materials are there. NGOs like the UNHCR, United Nations High Commission for Refugees, done a lot of work with the UNHCR, already have militarized escorts to get you to and from camps. When you're working with refugees, you've got a shortage of space and a shortage of time, and you've got water issues, water supply issues, waste stream water issues, and food supply issues. And you've got waste food en masse concentrated in the dense population of a refugee camp. So if you can gain people's trust by putting in reed beds, which you can make from bulk liquid containers, as we do in Jordan and the Syrian refugee camps right now, you can take their wastewater from kitchens, from bathrooms, from showers, take it through reed beds, and that water can then go through wicking beds and produce food. Now, on the way, it can go through a worm farm. So if it goes through a wicking bed, then a worm farm, and then you're growing food, your reed bed will clean up the water, your wicking bed will process food and solid waste, but also produce a liquid fertilizer, clean the water enough to go straight in the wicking bed, which is being fertigated by the cleaned up grey water of the reed bed, fertilised by the worm farm, growing food in 1 square metre. Now you can incrementally increase those wicking beds on the end. So a 1 square metre reed bed, if it's a large family in a refugee camp, 2 1 square metre reed beds, a 1 square metre worm farm, and 1 square metre wicking beds added on, if there's space, give you a very interesting amount of production. You can keep planning and keep planning and keep planning. If it's hot, dry, hostile conditions, you can shade it and extend your season. If it's really cold, you can put a little plastic shelter house over it. In the Sahel, it's more likely to be hot and dry, so you can cover it up with shade. You can really reduce, you can show minimum water use with a wicking bed. You can show basic food and organic matter recycling with a worm farm and produce liquid and solid fertilizer. And you can show very basic biological cleaning of waste streams with a reed bed. 3 1 metre incremental demonstrations. Very small space, very quickly producing in time, but continuously producing over time. Now, once refugees see that, they start to trust, hey, maybe you've got a few smart ideas. Then you've got a chance, just a chance, of getting out onto the broader area. If it's safe, if it's possible, and if you can control local people's overgrazing and overuse of systems or disrupting systems. There's often a lot of overgrazing which needs to be controlled. That means you need buy-in from the local people around you, around the area. But yes, there's a chance. But start small, extend the systems of success, gain people's trust, work with what they want to grow, what they want to eat, and you'll get a great result. We have, and we think it's the way to go.